All right, hey everybody, welcome to the example video for working through the West groups on a Hyperdoc. So I've got an example here to show you the process of how to work through each group in the West. This one is Black Hills Miners, and it's the group I'm going to be using throughout the entire unit to show you different things like how do you work the Hyperdoc, and how do you what do you do with, how do you accumulate your notes, and how do you write a script and a storyboard, and then ultimately what's a finished documentary video look like. So this is just the first part of it, but I just give you an idea, and I'm not going to go through this whole thing in depth. I'm going to try to breeze through this in just a few minutes. Each group should take you quite a bit of time. Like each video is going to be 7 to 10 minutes long that you have to watch. You're going to have text to read and photos to interpret. So this is not a speed. This is not a speed test. This is a depth of knowledge. So make sure you take your time. We're going to give you plenty of time in class to work through these things. So take that time and do this well. Here's your instructions for each group. First thing you do is watch the embedded video clip, and you're going to take some notes on opportunities and challenges. Opportunities are why did people go west, and challenges were what was hard about their experience. Then you go to the next slide, interpret a primary source picture. Again, observations and inferences for opportunities and challenges. That's what we're looking to do here. Primary source documents, some of them are song lyrics, some of them are interviews, some of them are letters. Like it could be a bunch of different things, but you're just going to look at those and come up with, again, opportunities and challenges as you see for that group. Then you're going to read the text, and it's going to be a selection from the textbook about your group. Again, opportunities and challenges. We really want to hammer those things because that's what this is all about. And then finally, well, not finally, then you're going to write first-person statements for each group based on what you've already learned. So you're going to write things in I, me, my, we, those kinds of things, as if you're a member of that group. Then finally, wrap up. You're going to do a little reflection piece and a formative assessment that will help you. All right, so here's the Black Hills Miners one. This is my first slide. The first thing I would do is I would click on this link and notice my image right there that says click here. So I'm going to click on that picture, and it's going to bring up a video, and I'm not going to play the video here, but just know that your video is going to be, again, about, I don't know, 7 to 8 minutes long, something like that. Okay, once I'm done with that, I will move over here and I would type in my my knowledge. So what were the opportunities for Black Hills Miners? They had placer gold, which was surface gold. They only needed a few tools, and they didn't really need skills. And they didn't have to go as far as California. But what was hard about it? Well, it was illegal. They were trespassing on Indian land, and the Indians, like the Lakota Sioux, were angry about that. In the next slide, then, I'm going to click on the image again, and this is to bring up a picture that is going to go with my topic. And I will just take a look at this, and I'll interpret it using observations and inferences. And when I get some things there, again, about opportunities and challenges, I'm going to go over here and type them into this little document where it says interpret right here, right? What are the opportunities for Black Hills Miners? There's other opportunities for work. There's other businesses I see, so if mining doesn't work out, maybe they could get a job someplace else. What are the challenges? Lots of people, so I see competition, and I'm thinking maybe merchants are going to take advantage of that. The third slide is the primary source. So again, I'm going to click on that picture, and it'll give me the link to pull up the primary source document. You can't really see the whole thing. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. And I would just read through that, make my interpretation there, and go down here to relate. So relate the opportunities for Black Hills Miners from that letter. Some of them were on adventures, some were there to make money, obviously. What were the challenges? Some people died from disease or ill, and people got ill. There was also claim jumpers, other miners trying to take away their mines. The next one is the textbook reading. So again, I'd click this link, and it's going to pull up the textbook reading for the Black Hills Miners. I would read through that. Again, what were the opportunities? Placer gold. The earliest arrivals were most successful. The challenges was that water was scarce, and explosives were dangerous because they're going to have to turn to blowing stuff up to get to the gold. So I've got all my notes accumulated here, and now I go to my next slide, which is the relation part of it. Like, you're going to relate what you've learned as is if you were a miner, okay? So you're going to type in first-person statements for opportunities and challenges. So just an example over here, if I get to the Black Hills early enough, I should be able to find gold easily in the streams, right? But over here's a challenge. Us miners in the Black Hills are in the Black Hills illegally because they were promised to the Lakota Sioux as part of a reservation. So you can see there's good things, reason I go up, but what's hard about it is maybe the Lakota Sioux are mad about it. Like, those are the things that you're going to jot down. And then the last slide here is, what was the most interesting thing that you learned? So for me, it's for the first year, the miners in the Black Hills were there illegally because the Black Hills have been given the Lakota Sioux by the U.S. government in this treaty. Okay, so to me, whatever that is for you, you learn something about your group, each group, and whatever's the most interesting thing, I want you to put that in there. And then finally, there's going to be a very short formative quiz by clicking on the link there. Here's the quiz for Black Hills miners for me, so I would go in here and I would just put my name, first and last, go down and do class period. Say second period, and it's this one's a one question. It's going to be one or two questions for you. How do Black Hills miners solve the problem of not enough water for their mining operations? I'm going to look here, and I'm going to say, oh, they built long flumes, because I learned that. That brought water to their mining claims. So I'm going to submit it, and then I move on to the next group. Okay? So it should be pretty straightforward and pretty simple, and really it's going to be self-directed. So you're going to have a few days to do this in class. Take your time. Do a really good job. This is how you're going to get the content and what you're responsible for, and it's going to direct you down the road of your documentary next. So do a good job with this, fan. Thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, be sure to ask your teacher.